Good morning, my name is Lori. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. Today we are on the back side of the room looking at all the storage stuff on the wall. I have 8 simple topics for Blabfest Friday and lots of pictures to go with them and some video too. I would like to talk about embroidery progress. You know that I have been working on this little kit of embroidery. Well, I have made some progress. At quilt camp, I sat down, set the timer, and took 30 minutes from socializing to work on this. And then as Dan read to me the other night, I finished it up. So the first block is done, and the second block is all ready with the sheets that you run through the printer, and it is in Michigan awaiting for me to return. And as you can see in the picture, that sheet, it was like miraculous. I ran it under warm water and it turned to goo and washed right out. So it was kind of a miracle. It worked really well. I will definitely be buying those again after I use that 12-pack up. I am working on the applique basket. One of the things I worked on quilt camp was getting all of the cross pieces appliqued down on this little basket. And now I'm going to roll some video as I prepare the piece for more applique. But it does involve basting, sewing before sewing. What a fun thing. I was going to work on this more at camp, but I decided to stop while I was ahead, and I didn't take my light box with me. So this is what I got done. I got the basket parts sewn down, and I remember I left extra because I told you, oh, it's easier to leave extra because you can't fiddle with it. So there's my little tiny stitches and what's holding on. And you can see I went up past the next layer a little bit in some places, and I need to put on the bottom. Let me put the thing on the light box. You can see the pencil lines that I have drawn through, and I could even put the pattern on there, which I might do. Put the pattern underneath so I can see it even better. Kind of double line it up. And then you can see where I went way past. So I get that lined up. I might put a pin or two in it. So that it stays lined up. Yes, I think that's what I will do till I'm ready to work on certain parts. Here a pin, there a pin, everywhere a little pin. As my grandma would have said, lazy man's thread. But you know, at 5 for $1, this stuff is ancient. And if I use it all up, or if it breaks while I am basting, it will not matter. So I am going to baste as I go. So I might turn this around. I see that it has a sharp, sharp curve here. I'm going to turn it this way. I am right-handed, so that will be easiest if I go with the way that I am handed. I know last time I pinned as I went, but this time, oh well, might take a little longer to pull all that thread through. And that is a tight curve, so I might have to really ease in. Ooh, there we go. ease in some of the fullness, but it will lay flat eventually with enough coercing. Just saying. Oh, I don't want to, I heard the crinkle of the paper there. I don't want to baste through the paper. I do have the rustic light table in Michigan. So now that's easing out a little bit. And there's no rule saying I can't pin as I go, because I do have some of those lovely little basting pins. And I will trim off the top parts of this basket as I am sewing. I see there's a leaf that comes down over that, and I'm okay with that. I'm just going to go in one straight line today so I can get it all done. Let me put this on speed baste and finish this part up. I just ventured over to the scrap bin, and I think that would make a lovely looking band on there. So I'm just going to lay it on there so it covers that up. I'm going to pop a couple pins in there and take it off that background for a few minutes and show you what I like to do. My favorite applique method. Cut my needle with extra long thread off of there. And it's a doubled thread, by the way. Let me flip this over. Oh no. I basted right to my pattern. Okay, yeah. See, but oops, it'll be all right. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. And I hope that you can see this. There is the outline of the piece. So I am going to baste right on the line. I don't know if you've ever tried this technique, but it is my favorite applique technique. And I'm making fairly big stitches. I'm just going to go the whole way around the outside edge. This applique technique, game changer. Now, let's take a look on the front. Where I basted, I can see exactly where I will need to sew later on. Now I'm going to cut off all this. I'm going to cut off the extra, but I'm going to let that seam allowance there. And I'm going to just trim it up a little. I'm not trimming it as much as I will when I actually applique it. Oh wait, did I tell you the best part? The best part is this part down here gets a piece of the bias right along it and line it right up against there. Like cover the basting a little. Well, maybe I will. Well, no, I don't want, well, if I do, I think I will. And that way I can just trim it out a little bit as I go. I'll let the ends open. And that piece will be all ready to, and I'll trim this out. But if I baste it on there, it will already be done. And, well, it'll be basted. So then all I have to do is applique around these edges. As long as I'm covering my basting stitch there, I'll know it's in the right spot. Oh, that'll be fantastic. And now I will have this ready to work on and share with you. I don't want to pull it so tight that I distort it. But that is fantastic. And it is ready to go and ready to work on. Topic number 3, yard sale finds and goodies. So as part of Quilt Camp, sometimes the lady that runs it, Susie, she sets up a silent auction, which is good, but I always end up paying more for stuff. Or she sets up yard sale tables and we have to price things, and then anything that's left gets donated to the Cumberland Valley Relief Center, which is a cool operation. They sell things to fund projects, service projects for their community. And they put on a quilt show every year in Pennsylvania. Very nice. Very sweet and generous people. Anyway, back to my original thought. I did a little video of my yard sale finds while we were at camp. Here they are. Sometimes a messy bundle is perfect for a yard sale find. So let's take a look. I love this fantastic grosgrain ribbon. Great for bag handles. And a messy bun. Let's see what's here. Oh, Marion, look at this. Look at this. And I'm saying, oh, Marion, because I know, Marion, that you love these kind of colors. Ooh. Happy peace signs. Okay. Oh, bunches of those. Look at that one. And more of a little bit different, same colorway. Ooh. Let's see what the next set of colors is. Oh, look at those happy little atomic owls. Upside down. Oh, they go every which way, so that's great. Look at that. I love that. Orange, peachy orange. Chartreuse and red violet. Oh, this is probably my favorite. This was what was on the outside. That swirl and the flowers. Perfect. Great yard sale find for $1. Fantastic. Oh, wait, and there was one other piece of fabric. It was 2.5, there's 2.5 yards here, and somebody has already starched this. It's very stiff, but very, very cute. Gotta love yard sale finds. And yard sale finds wouldn't be complete without books. Oh, look, I bought 2 of the same magazine at different trips to the yard sale table. And boy, I hope this book really works, Finding Peace Through Patchwork. I bought one of these years ago for $20-some. This one was $1. I'll take it to Michigan. It is great when you have older machines that don't necessarily wind bobbins very well. My favorite quilt shop at the moment in Michigan. We have very few. For as big as the population is around here, we have very few quilt shops, and the ones that are here are much more expensive. So I told the owner of Diamonds in the Rough in Pinconning, Michigan, that I would give her shop a shout out in my next Friday Blabfest. I love going in there. She has wide backs, a good selection of wide backs, and not for her prices are very good, and the quality is good quality fabric. So I don't know why you wouldn't stop there if you're going through Pinconning. There's also the famous cheese house with the big mouse and all kinds of interesting things there as you head up north. Here are some pictures from her shop website. I love how she has turned this old Catholic church into a fabric store, and she has used the pews as shelves. They are anchored together and anchored against the wall, and they make excellent shelves for the fabric. Topic number 5, camp frame. So I told you in last Friday's video that while you were watching it, I was at Quilt Camp at Camp Frame, which is a 4-H camp in Hedgesville, West Virginia. It is a very beautiful property, and it does sit back off the road, so it is quiet and tranquil, except for the cardinal that was singing at 6 o'clock in the morning and woke me up while we were sleeping in the dorms. And you know that 4-H camp is usually occupied by teenagers, so I couldn't help but take a picture of the back of the toilet because someone took a sticker and made this a safety mission. Just saying. This facility is also available for rent. Let me show you the video right here. This is beautiful Camp Frame in Hedgesville, West Virginia. I'm going to be quiet so you can hear the birds singing. This is a beautiful property. Clouds. This is the dining hall here at Camp Frame, and we use the dining hall for our sewing area. I'll show you video of that here in a moment. Now, every year, Susie puts out a challenge for us, and we get to decide and vote on what the challenge will be. So last year, the challenge was to make a quilt 36 by 36 or smaller based on a song with a color in the title. Now, I did not participate. I had an idea sketched out, but I didn't get around to it, and so it probably will never come to fruition. My title didn't have a color in it. I wanted to do Country Road Take Me Homes, West Virginia and Michigan, and make it like a map, but it doesn't have a color in it. So I promised you that I would show you some eye candy from Quilt Camp, and here are the pictures, and I will do voiceover to tell you a little bit about them. Please don't expect me to remember the song titles, because some of those songs I had never heard of. So I don't remember their exact title, and I didn't write them down. But I do have pictures of the lovely quilts, and I do know the ladies' names that made them. First up, we have Peggy with her Blue Bird of Happiness quilt. I love this little bird. I really should look into buying this pattern or making one up. Next up, we have Jan with White Christmas, or I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. The rules did not specify it could not be something like a pillow, so Marla made a tie the yellow ribbon round the old oak tree pillow. Kathy made a very nice bed runner or table runner based on the song Big Yellow Taxi. The square in the middle represents the asphalt, or the color of asphalt. The other Lorrie made this little cute quilt based on the song Courtesy of the USA. Sue created this cute one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater quilt. This quilt by Carolyn is beach themed. I think this was one that did not have a color in the title, but it had a related theme. But it is cute, made from a panel. This beautiful quilt, Red Roses for a Blue Lady, is based on, the silhouette was made for her granddaughter. The roses were added with broderie purse applique, and the words were added with applique. Beautiful job, Fawn. Nancy's quilt is titled It's Not Easy Being Green, based on the Kermit the Frog song. Cute. I see money signs in there. This little quilt was something about the red sails, but it was a song that I was not familiar with. But it is cute. I love the use of rickrack for waves. This song was something about the woman in the black dress in the middle. Beautiful embroidery. This is our youngest quilt camp member. The quilt is called John Deere Green. Honey shared 2 quilts with us, a Bluebirds of Happiness quilt and another one that I believe is called The Color of Money, Honey, and she had actual dollar bills pinned right on the quilt top. Renee shared a fantastic bag with us, but I do not remember the song title. Sorry. And the last quilt shared for the challenge was a song I had never heard of. It was about green mountains and fields. Jeannie did an excellent job matching the song lyrics to her little quilt. So that brings me to next year's challenge. They discussed, someone had a small crazy quilt, like one big block, and they talked about that as a possibility, or orphan blocks made into something, because one of the ladies takes orphan blocks and turns them into tote bags for the shelter in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and fills them with things that ladies would need if they're escaping a bad domestic situation and they don't have basic essentials. So it was talked about using an orphan block in any kind of project. I forget what the other possibilities were, but we got to vote, and those were the top 2. So we can choose between a crazy quilt. I think I have this. I think I've got this down pat. Or using something made from orphan blocks. I think I have that down pat too. So next year I will be making something, And the ladies, some of them actually watch. And hi girls, hi. And so on the Facebook page for Fireside Quilters of Camp Frame, I posted, they were saying, oh, you should put some links to Crazy Block. Well, way back when on the Monday series, I threw in some how to make crazy blocks, three different episodes, different ways to assemble them. So I threw up those links so that they could enjoy them and go back and do crazy blocks. And if you Google on YouTube, crazy quilt blocks, oh my gosh, you could watch for the next 150 years about crazy quilt blocks, including embellishments. Just saying. Not that I want you to leave my channel and go to something else. Just saying. It's out there. All you have to do is Google it. So next year's challenge, I will be working on it. I think I'm going to keep it a secret so that it will be a surprise at Quilt Camp. Viewer contributions. Topic number 8. Everybody's favorite topic is viewer contributions. Now, the first one is actually from Quilt Camp. I will show you more Quilt Camp quilts next week. I just decided to show you the challenge this week, but I will show you some more quilts next week. Barb, my friend, years and years ago, I think my son was in 3rd grade, so 25 years ago, I gave her the only quilt that I have ever quilted by hand for Christmas. And she uses it on the back of her sofa or as a dining room, a table cover when she has big meals. And she brought it to share and show. I haven't seen that. I don't even have a picture of that until now. She brought that to share and show. Oh, I made so many mistakes. The hand quilting, it's fairly even, but I use double thread. I don't know if I even popped the knots in like you're supposed to. I had no one to tell me I was doing things wrong, but from a distance, it is beautiful. And those stars were just so happy and so much like my friend Barb. So I enjoy this quilt. This might be something we come back to and make this block. I remember making this block and loving it. By the way, the Little League coach that my son had, he was a mean man. He yelled and screamed at the boys a lot. Like I said, my son was in 3rd grade. And he didn't like teachers, so I either spent my time in the car grading papers or working on Barb's quilt because I didn't want to be like him and confrontational and mean and listen to how upsetting he could be. Just saying, it probably saved everyone's head. The ladies at Quilt Camp said, oh, it probably saved me from jail time. Okay, whatever. Yeah, probably. It's true. So I do have some fantastic blocks from Anne. This fantastic little hand-embroidered quilt wall hanging. Isn't this cute? I love all the motifs on this and how she finished it up. This is fantastic. Anne also sent pictures of her Study in Scarlet blocks, the Friendship block, the Filler blocks, the Garden Path block. I love her colors. And the last one on this picture is the one for this week, the Lily of the Field block. I love how she changed up those cross points. Excellent job, Anne. And from Diana, I have a great potato chip block. She said when she was in the mood for some mindless sewing, no thinking aloud, she pulled out a box of these and just started making blocks. and she has several already made. I think potato chip blocks are great. I love the way she centered this bird like he's looking at you. Cute, very cute. And that is the end of topic number 8 for today. I hope that you have a great weekend. As you are watching, I am traveling and enjoying the trip. Well, maybe it's a Friday. Traffic gets bad after a while. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. I hope you get lots of things done and you get to enjoy some sunshine and fresh air. See you later.